Welcome to Eastern Film Fans, and we welcome our very special guest, my friend, and he will be yours, Rising Star Colin Squire. Rising Star. That's what I'm going to call the interview because you're a rising star. And I wanted to interview for a couple of reasons and stuff because there's some short films you've been in which I've been mightily impressed with. And I thought,
Thanks.
let's get him on the show. Let's get him on the show. So, Colin, welcome to the show, mate.
Thank you very much. I very much appreciate you taking the time to have a chat with me. I really do appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Obviously, yes, we met, didn't we, way back at the Fighting Spirit Film Festival, and been buddies ever since.
That's it. And as you can see, he has a connoisseur of a DVD, a Blu-ray, and I'm sure there's some 4Ks in there as well. Behind him, mine's in front of me, so I can look. So it's like, it's great. It's like 3D. Let's kick into it. I always ask my guests that are on here for the first time. It's about where the passion came from, where the drive came from. Obviously, films we can see and stuff, but like, what drove you to actually, get involved in a film, etc.? Where did that come from?
Well, I'll be honest. It's just been a massive fluke for me. It really has. So as I mentioned earlier, like the first kind of step into it was the Fighting Spirit Film Festival. I've been to, I think minus one. I've been to every event they've put on, I think.
Awesome.
And that kind of got me. I started chatting to people like Sam Mack and Bo Fowler, all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And the stuff that was the shorts that were on the screen there were just second to none, really. From that they were just brilliant for what they did with hardly any budget and stuff. And it was absolutely express delivery. I mean, that just blew me away. That did. That's stuck with me ever since. That's why they haven't made that into a feature film. I don't know. But
I love them. I see. Yeah, exactly. I love them. I say, God, they should be a feature. I mean, they're that good. They are good. And if you've not been to Fighting Spirit Film Festival, the link will be down below. Check it out. There's tickets coming soon. This will be out hopefully beforehand. You should be able to. There's one coming up in September. So grab tickets, go and see it. But you're right. Yeah, it's fantastic seeing them on the big screen.
Yeah, and so that kind of got me connected to a few people anyway. But then over lockdown is where it all started for me. Mark Strange put an ad out on Facebook, and he was saying if anyone wants to online teaching, I'm going to take on 5 people.
Yeah,
drop me a message, and we're we go from there. Messaged him as soon as I saw it, and we ended up doing. He was teaching me. So I've always been a favour of kicking in martial arts. I've done taekwondo and kickboxing, and he started chucking a few routines at me and stuff online over Zoom and that sort of thing. And I honestly don't know how got onto it. If it was something that I would be interested in doing. And he said, what I do is online we do like a sort of reactions video where he'd throw a punch at the screen and then I'd react to it, and he was kind of getting a gist of how I moved and stuff, I guess, like that. And after, I don't even know how many sessions it was. We did it for quite a while over lockdown. He said that after lockdown, he had a thing he wanted to film. If I'd be interested, me and the other people who were doing it online. He said, if you'd be interested, I'm going to do I need to do like a little tester screening for something. One of his projects that he was kind of had coming up on that, which I'm not allowed to talk about actually. So I don't know what's happened to that.
I've had him on the show and stuff. He's always got something on the go, which is great.
He's always got something coming up, hasn't he? And he asked whether I'd be interested. We went down and done that, and I made some great friends there. And he chose me to do one of the not really a stunt, but kind of like one of the falls and that sort of stuff. And I just remember I was laid in this pit, and he was there, and he was doing his thing, and I was like, holy shit, how the hell have I managed this sort of thing? It's like it was absolutely it was crazy that that I was there doing it. And then from there on, he said to us whether we wanted to do some, all meet up when it was safer to. And originally it was to do a little skit for people's show reels and stuff like that. And Craig David Dowsett, I don't know if you know, he plays Winnie the Pooh in the Blood and Honey.
Yeah,
He was meant to come along,
nice.
and he had to pull out, so the numbers weren't right. And then Mark said, "Well, I'll tell you what, we'll put a fight scene together, and then we'd kind of make a short film." And that's kind of how Combat Zone.
Yeah, we'll get into Combat Zone. Let's go back a little bit. Let's rewind a little bit. A couple of things interested to note that, like, the realization at one point, they're like, hold on a second, I'm here, I'm doing it, I'm doing what I've seen on the screen. Must have been fabulous. Just like, oh, wow, that's it. It's like the ding moment. Go back a little bit, because you said Taekwondo, you got martial arts background. So when did you start martial arts, and what background have you got in which disciplines?
Oh man, right, okay. So when I was 5, it was kickboxer.
Nice.
I remember. Yeah, I that was. I don't even know why I was allowed to watch it. The old man was probably asleep on the sofa, and it was on, and that was just it for me. Kickboxer was the one. I mean, at Van Damme, I'm a tremendous Van Damme fan. Have been forever, pretty much. And I remember. So I watched it on TV. And then I remember saying to my dad, "Can we go buy it?" And we went down to the record house where I live, and that wasn't in there, but we saw Bloodsport. And I brought that home, and I think he thought that was actually the same film. And I ended up watching Bloodsport the day after. But then when Michelle Kissy gets his leg broken, I was like, "Oh my God, that's a bit rough. I can't." That's I was that bit really put me off. For a bit, but then going back and watching it, I remember Mum always fast forwarding through that bit with the leg break and that sort of stuff. It was always Van Damme, with Universal Soldier, and then later on, obviously, Hard Target and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I was. I think it was the same. I used to rush down the video shop as a kid. The latest Jackie Chan film would come out, obviously dubbed and stuff, but I wanted to see, or any martial arts film, or any kick, or any punch, or any essence of martial arts in it. I wanted to go and hire the film and see it and stuff, but I was a massive Van Damme fan, obviously. So yeah.
It was. So my first experience with Jackie Chan were at a car boot sale, and we brought Drunken Master on VHS.
Nice.
I'm pretty sure, if I remember rightly, the cover was like photocopied. It wasn't an official thing or anything like that. I brought that, and that blew my mind, but I didn't feel as connected to that as I did to the Van Damme, because that just seemed above and beyond anything I could have ever achieved anyway. Sort of thing. It was not that I could have reached Van Damme status, but I knew that I could probably end up kicking or doing that sort of stuff. But then, that just opened the floodgates for me from the Jackie Chan stuff and all that. It was crazy. I remember going up to outside my school, there was a second-hand store, and there was a TV repair shop. And in the window, he just had this box of videos. And I went in there one day, and there was there was a Young Master, Eastern Condors, and there was another one in there. I can't remember what the other ones were. And I went in there, I said, "Can I buy them?" And he was like, "No, they're 15s, 18s. You can't do it." So I got my parents to go back down there. And after I brought a few in there, I was like, "Oh, can you get this? Can you get that?" And he was like, "I can get them in, I think." And then he just ended up, I don't think anyone else bought videos in there, but he used to get this entire backlog of stuff for me. And it was just unbelievable, the stuff I was watching back then. But it was all, I didn't really take it all in at the time. I was watching it, and then I just fast forward to the fight scenes and that sort of stuff. So I didn't really know who was in it, or I couldn't.
Yeah, exactly.
It's only now with rebuying it, I was like, "Oh, I remember this," or "Oh yeah, he's in that," and stuff.
I remember that. Revisiting it. It's fantastic. I think the childhood memories, exactly, of that. I was the same as stuff. It was just watching it. You go straight to the fight scene because you want to watch the next fight scene, and we get another table. Watch the next fight scene. It was fantastic and stuff. So we talked about Combat Zone and that kind of how that came to be and stuff, but there was a remarkable run on it for a while and stuff. Obviously, it went on the festival circuit, and he must have gone beyond what you thought it was going to be, because at the end of the day, you just made a short film that, you win and that's it. But some of the awards it picked up was fantastic.
It was absolutely crazy. None of us at all. I remember when Matt Rutledge showed up to direct it, and Mark showed him what he'd put together, and it was when we filmed it. It was in an active gym.
Yeah.
And I remember me, Daniel, and Ryan, we were all going around, and Mark's like, smash him in the face with that and do this. And there was people in there working out, and they're like, there was one woman in there. She goes, "If you're going to play your silly games, can you go do it somewhere else, please?"
Should have kept that in. They should put that in the shot. That'd have been quite good.
And yeah, but Mark, I mean, honestly, without Mark, none of these opportunities would have come my way. But he was, walking around just watching him do it. He was like, "I'll just do this, and then we'll just put this together." And I remember when Matt come in, he was like, "I can't see us filming this in half a day," because none of us, other than Ryan, I think had done a bit. None of us had any fine experience, sort of thing.
Yeah,
camera. All, other than that little bit we did with Mark online and stuff.
Yeah,
so it was all new to us, and it was it was a massive learning curve. It really was. And then when we come to shoot on the Sunday afternoon, Matt was like, "I don't think we're going to get everything, and we're going to have to cut some bits out." And we just worked our arse off, and Mark was really encouraging to us all, and we ended up getting it done that afternoon, and it turned out to be what it was. And none of us, because it literally was just meant to be a tiny show reel. And when Dan said, "Oh, we should put it the Fighting Spirit," Matt said, "We'll see how it turns out." And then it just escalated from there. It's crazy. I think it won about 10 awards or so.
Yeah, it was.
I mean,
it
was absolutely mental. I mean, the Urban Action Showcase, it got showed out there. I went out there.
Yeah,
and it won fight scene with weapons, obviously for the one with the weights and at the end.
Yeah,
I stood up on stage, right, because me and my friend James, who does movie rankers with me, all that's on hiatus at the minute, we flew out there, and we walked into this. It was a huge theatre. I mean, I'd never seen a cinema like it, and I was on my phone, and the awards were being listed, and he nudged me and he said, "You've won." I was like, "What?" I went down there, and I was stood in front of Michael Jai White, Don the Dragon Wilson, Amy Johnston, some of the cast from The Last Dragon, and wow. All that. And I was stood there, and I was looking. I was like, "What the actual?"
Yeah.
And it was just, it was everybody, Don the Dragon. I mean, he was huge for me when I was growing up.
Everybody. Bloodfist was just staple dive for any martial arts film. It was just,
Ring of Fire, and all that sort of stuff. And he was stood there the day after the signings and stuff. I stood there and I chatted to him for about 45, 50 minutes or so, I suppose, something like that. I was like, how has this happened just through this 5-minute short? It was unbelievable, really.
Exactly. Look, there's opportunities there. You have to grab them. You did, obviously. Mark, we'll link down to Mike Strange's interview, and I'm going to catch up with him again soon and stuff. I know he's doing a lot at the moment and stuff. But okay, so you did that. It was great and stuff. You got the bug clearly because you went, well, we need to do something else. So tell everybody what you've just done. It's coming on the Fighting Spirit Film Festival and coming on the circuit now. Hitman and The Assassin, I think it is.
Yeah.
So how did that come about and stuff, and give a little inside info on what it's all about for the fans.
Again, that was all through my camera's going wonky. I'm just going to move that real quick. So the Hitman and The Assassin, that was again thanks to the Fighting Spirit. It was all Combat Zone was being showed there. I met Jonathan there. We done an interview with him over on Movie Rankers, and he said, "I'm coming over to the UK again. If you're interested in doing something together, I'll come up with an idea, and we'll see if anything come of it." And I was like, "Well, say what, and I'll be there." And didn't think any more of it. Then out of the blue, I got a message from him saying, "I'm coming over." So we shot that last year. He said, "I'm coming over. Is there any? I've got an idea for a fight scene and a little bit of a backstory and stuff." And he said, "Do you know a director? And do you know someone who might be interested in else who's been in it?" I got in contact with Will, who he had done a couple of horror films, Owlsbury Dead and stuff like that in the local area where I live.
Yeah.
And I messaged him and said, "Look, I've got this opportunity. Are you interested? There's no money involved. This was done for nothing."
Yeah.
It was, and he said, "Yeah, give us a shout." And I got in contact with a friend of mine named Ben. I spoke to him for about, I don't know, 10, 11 years, and he had done theatre work. And I said, "You interested in doing this short?" And he jumped at the chance. Found a barn in the middle of nowhere.
Love it.
Run around a few farms, and I said, "Look, we're doing this." I think a lot of people thought I was trying to use it for a free rave or something like that, and they were like, not interested. I said, "No, honestly, it is just to shoot this."
Yeah, we're not back in the 90s. We're not doing raves.
Yeah,
so old for that.
That is generally what he thought was going on. They were like, yeah, and they said, "Oh, we need some proof that this is what it's going to be." And I found this place, and this barn just tucked in the middle of the field out of nowhere. It was no noise, no nothing, and Jonathan, I sent some photos over, and he said, "That looks great. Let's see what we can do." He came over. We had 2 days rehearsal for the fight, and then none of us had met. So Jonathan hadn't met Will, and Jonathan hadn't met Ben. Ben hadn't met Will, or anything like that. And we met at the train station to go to location, shook hands, and then we had two days literally to shoot this in the barn. I've never done any acting at all. So anyone who does watch it, who thinks, "Well, that could have been done a bit better," this was
no, don't put yourself down. I'm hearing early buzz around it already, so it's getting some buzz already, mate. So apparently it's very good. So can't wait. I know it's on the Fighting Spirit Film Festival, which is fantastic. So we look forward to that. And I guess, what's next? Have you got anything planned? I mean, you've got the book clearly, so you must be thinking, "Oh, what do I want to do next?" Or opportunities.
There's a few things. There's a few things coming up. Actually, I might be doing a horror film a bit later on in the year. I think that's just going to be another short. There's a few little things here and there that people are reaching out for and that sort of stuff.
Nice.
I think me and Daniel might try and do something else together and that sort of thing. But yeah, and then obviously if anything kind of happens in the future with the stuff we shot with Mark, maybe we might get a bit of a call back on that. I don't know.
Yeah, but, I mean, like I say,
there's ideas floating around and stuff. But yeah,
once you've started it, you see, then people will start to reach out as well. And if something catches your attention, then it's, you're on the road, and that's what it's all about. It's fantastic. Yeah. For me, I like seeing you on screen. There's a certain, you've got a certain je ne sais quoi, as they say. There's because you're drawn to it as a character. So you definitely got something. So you should continue that passion and grow, because I think you're fantastic. Look good on the screen, mate. Look better than me. I don't know. I'm handsome in real life, but on the screen I'm not. It's just one of those, and it works.
In real life, you're a god.
It works for you, but no, it's fantastic. I look forward to your next adventures, and like I say, we'll put some links below. But finally, one last question, and this is the question I ask all my guests on the show. Drum roll, maestro, please. If you're stuck on a desert island, and you're going to take 3 films with you, any genre you want, what 3 films do you take?
First one is Ghostbusters.
No.
Without a doubt. That is the greatest film ever made. In my opinion.
Love it.
In my opinion, that is the
fantastic
greatest film made. What else? I think I'll probably have to go down the Van Damme route. I'll probably take Universal Soldier.
Nice. That's a classic.
And then maybe Warriors 2 would probably be on there as well.
Nice.
I think it would probably be those 3. I think would have to be that would keep me in fame. Yeah.
Look, as I say to all my guests, pick 3 now. Interviewee again, you can pick another 3, so don't worry about it.
Thank you very much.
I've had different answers from different people and stuff, but it's fantastic. Colin, I wish you every success in the future. You deserve it. Keep kicking, keep doing what you're doing.
Very much.
Like I say, Rising Star, look out for Colin and stuff. I'll put the links below for everything. And I wish you all the best, mate. And thanks for joining us today.
I really appreciate it. Thank you very much for taking the time to have a chat with me, Phil. Very kind of you.
You're welcome, mate. Anytime.
Thank you.
I'll catch you soon.
Cheers, mate.